subitizing, I told you we'd talk about that a little bit. Perceptual subitizing is just looking at it quickly and knowing that that is an amount. You don't have to count it, you just look at it. It's what, one whole group, you know it. Like this, we can look at that real quick and we see that that is 3. Conceptual subitizing, on the other hand, is recognizing that a collection of objects is composed of 2 sub-collections. So it's combining the 2. Like here, that color makes us see what? What do we see?
Five and 1.
Yes, Melissa, thank you. 5 and 1. Because of the color arrangement, it makes us see that 5 and 1 specifically. So we're putting together 5 and we're putting together 1. Right? So I want to look at some cards with you. Make sure here's like this one, we're starting with the dot pattern. So I would roll the dice and we would talk about the dice and the patterns they would see, try to get them. So we show it, talk about it, what we see, and then describe what we're seeing. And then of course you can start flashing the cards at them. So we're going to look at some of this. So subitizing progressions. Begin with those domino patterns up to 6. Those ones that we see on our dice. And then you can move into irregular patterns up to 6. You don't want to, not too much too fast. Because remember, we want this to be something quick that they take a glance at and they know. And then you can create those composite groupings by, you can intentionally space them apart, or you can intentionally use a different color. So let's look at Tell Me Fast. You actually have some cards for Tell Me Fast in book 1 on page 42. Let me dig out my cards. So these are actually the cards that I just put these on cardstock. Because remember, we don't have book 1. But you can put those on cardstock and you can run them through the laminator. And I do strongly suggest you do that with these, because you want to be able for the kids to be able to mark on those if they need to. And I'll show you here in just a minute. So first of all, you just, of course, you talk about the dot patterns. And of course, that would be the dot pattern for 3. And that is one thing that these don't do a lot of in your book, is the dot patterns. There's a lot of irregulars with these, but there are tons of subitizing cards that you can Google and find out there. There's some on the K&P guide that I'll share with you later on today that you can use as well. But I want to look at what you have in your book with these Tell Me Fast ones. After you've done a lot of work with the dice and looking at these patterns, then you can move on to these with the cards. So you just so with Tell Me Fast, all you do is you just flash it and put it down. Okay, what'd you see? And the kids would respond what they see. Now, for the sake of talking about it, I'm going to put it under here though. So what do you see here? Talk to me. What do you see?
4.
4. How did you see that, Melissa?
I saw 3 and 1.
Thank you. So you saw 3 and 1. So if you were sitting with me, I'd ask you to show me what you saw. So I'm going to mark for you, and I'm going to assume that you saw these 3 and then this 1. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I would have my kids do that. They would take a marker and they could mark on it, and they love to use these markers. And then we talk about what they saw. And then of course someone else may have seen something different. So let's look at another one. So I'm going to pull out one that my kids saw lots of different. I like this one. Okay, what we see here?
I see 5, 2, and 3.
Okay, so you see 2 and 3, Stephanie. So I'm going to, like if Stephanie were sitting here with me, then I'm going to assume that Stephanie saw this 2 and this 3. Is that correct, Stephanie?
Yes.
All right. So we talked about what she saw. Did someone see it differently?
I seen 4 and 1.
Okay, 4 and 1, right. Keisha, you saw that dot pattern, didn't you? Is this what you saw? 4 and then the 1. Yeah. So you see how we can have lots of conversation about this? And the kids love to mark on them and show their thinking. And we talk about how that's what they're doing. They're showing their thinking because as they get older, we really need them to show their thinking. We need to know what's going on, how they're figuring it out, and how we can help them figure it out, or how we can help with whatever's going on that they need a little help with.